or 6, actually. So we've got, what, this one and then 4 more, right? Is that how that works? So we're halfway through. 10 things that winners do that losers won't. I love this principle. This actually comes from, you'll see, it comes from Ed Milet, his book, The Power of One More. Brent and I actually, before we had partnered up, we watched this entire keynote at Family Reunion in 2023. It's the best keynote I've ever seen at KW. He was better than Tony Robbins. Tony Robbins was great. He was better than Tony Robbins. It was like super capturing if you get a chance to see it. In fact, I think, maybe you can just spend a few minutes and see if you can find it. I think they have it on YouTube. So I think there was people that couldn't get tickets, so they put it on YouTube. Really good, super inspirational, very easy to just listen to. Really, really good. So he captures this perfectly in his book. Make one more call than you feel like making. Do one more rep when your muscles scream to stop. Have one more round of edits even though it's already good enough. Life gets won in the inches. The compounding happens in that little bit extra most people skip. The edge doesn't come from doing twice as much. The edge comes from doing slightly more every single time until those advantages compound an insurmountable lead. So, a couple of stories come to mind. There's a book called The Compound Effect. And in that book, they talk about Tiger Woods and some other guy. And I purposely say some other guy, 2 reasons. 1, I can't remember who it is. And 2, even if I did, you wouldn't know who it is. But they talk about, they show the scores. Tiger Woods' average for that year was like 69.1. So in golf, that's what he averaged. Par's typically 72. He averaged 69.1 through the whole year. This other guy averaged 69.4. Okay? Given how close they are, what do you think their income should be?
Probably the same.
Similar?
Yeah, probably similar.
Should be pretty close. Yeah, I think Tiger Woods made like 20x what this guy did. Okay? And it's just that 0.3 strokes on average that caused Tiger Woods to be making 20 times as much as this other guy did. Now, you talk about one more. I think Tiger Woods, isn't he Tiger Woods fans in here? There's like, do you remember, I think, didn't he'd hit like 500 balls every day?
Oh, it was, yeah.
I think it was like at the end of everything, he'd go hit 500 chips or something like that. And that's, he was one of the first golfers ever to do something like that. But I'm reminded of a story, a personal story. I was on the ALC. So you guys know what the ALC is at KW?
Yeah.
So Keller Williams has an agent or an associate leadership council. In fact, all the decisions made inside the market center, any major decisions, are typically funneled through the ALC. I think, are you still on it, Rebecca? Is this your last year?
Yeah.
Okay. Brent, Kara, and I were all on it for a few years together. I was on it for about 9 or 10 years. And the ALC we had a call day once a month in the main office at KW. And of course I got assigned to go lead it for the day. And it was in the middle of, I don't know, I think it was 2017 or something like that. We were selling around 100 homes and I was selling the majority of those and I was buried. And the last thing I wanted to do is go down for an hour and, call in front of like, whatever, 10 or 12 other agents. But I get down there and I'm hyping them up and I'm like, you guys gotta call, and they start calling and I'm like, well, I better call. And I didn't bring a list. So I just was like, what the hell do I do? I start scrolling through my phone and I see a name I haven't talked to in a while and I give them a call. That phone call made me, I don't know exactly how much money, it was a 7-figure phone call. It was $1 million phone call. Well, who was it? It was a developer. And I called him and just checked in with him. This guy, one of the guys that owns Avamore. And I'm like, what's going on? We were checking in. It was a similar time of year like this. And he's like, yeah, I'm actually developing a property right now. And I'm like, well, duh. You're always developing Avamore. He's like, no, this other one. And I'm like, cool, how's that going? And I just was literally keeping conversation going. He's like, oh, it's going all right. We're gonna sell it to Hubble or CBH. And I'm like, what are you selling it for? And he tells me the price. And I'm like, if I could get you more money, would you give me a shot? He's like, what do you think? And I'm like, yeah, let's meet. Scheduled a meeting. Long story short, put together a builder team. We sold 80 homes. That was Lake Point.
Yeah.
Becky remembers Lake Point.
Strongly.
What would have happened if I didn't make that one phone call?
I would have went to Hubble.
He would have sold to Hubble and CBH. And you know what's funny is he actually, he would have lost money. Because by the time they developed it all, I think their costs were about $92,000 a lot. And they were gonna sell to Hubble or CBH for 70. They would have lost a lot of money. And I think we averaged on, I did the numbers, I think it was about 108 per lot is what I got. Putting together a builder team. So it was a win for them. It was a huge win for us, huge win for our team. I mean, it caused us to really do a lot of things that we wouldn't have been able to do otherwise. One more. Like who said that this morning? Some lady on the phone on Daily Growth. She said it only takes one.
Oh yeah, the girl, the open house woman that only had
Letitia,
one person
right.
come in and it was a buyer.
Yeah, she's like one person that came in and went to buy a house. It only takes one. Like that was one phone call that literally, I mean, changed the whole perspective on how I look at call day. How do you look at call day? Call day's coming up in 2 days.
Can't wait, gonna get the Stanley.
I'm excited.
How do you know it's a
Are you
Stanley?
excited to wear pajamas?
It's not a Stanley this time.
Okay.
Are you
It's a
excited to wear
local
pajamas? Or are you excited to win a freaking Stanley?
I'm
Or you
excited
wanna-
to
you wanna go
make
$1
some
million
money.
bucks? Like that's the real question.
Both.
I mean, I like both.
Yeah, one's better than the other, I can promise
That's
you.
true.
What's going through your head as you hear this? I've got other things we can talk about here, but I'm just curious. What's going through your head? You got a mic, let's pass it around. Whoever's got the mic.
I see this all the time in coaching. I coach track, and I watch kids who stay and want me to stay with them for an extra 30, 45 minutes, and kids who just go home right at 5 o'clock. And this year, this girl just signed on with NMU on a scholarship, and because she was the girl who stayed 30, 45 minutes extra every day.
Was she better when she showed up?
Yeah.
Like,
No, she was-
all the kids showed up and you're coaching this one. Was she like significantly better than all the rest? Could you
No.
tell she was gonna go to college?
No, she was a hot mess when I got her.
Okay.
I didn't see the potential that I see now, obviously, because it wasn't there yet.
Yeah.
She just had to drive.
Awesome. Who else got something going through their head?
I learned the lesson of one more call pretty early in my career. I started doing loans in California, and I remember there was a week where it was a Friday afternoon, and I lost a transaction. I don't remember what happened, but something happened, and it died. And it was probably 3:30, something like that on a Friday, and I was really bummed out. Like it was ruining my week at the time, and I said, you know what, it's 4 o'clock. Rather than go, I'm just gonna make a few more calls, and I ended up getting another transaction that, like in that last hour of the week, essentially. And I'll just never forget how I was so bummed at 3:30, and just elated at 5, and it just changed my whole weekend. And I never forgot that lesson of just making a few more calls.
That's awesome.
Go out on a limb here, but I'm gonna call out Teresa and she has no idea, but when I first started, very first started, I hadn't been lead generating and doing any of that, and so I'm working over here and it's late, I don't know, it's late in the afternoon. And Teresa says to somebody over here, she's like, I just wanna get a hold of one more expired. And I just stopped and was like, holy shit, she didn't say I wanna make one more call, she said I want one more expired to answer the phone. And I just thought, well, there's a reason she's on top. At sometime 3 o'clock in the afternoon or whatever, and so that was, kind of stopped me in my tracks a little bit about, like, she didn't just say one more call, she said one more contact, and I thought that was,
Well, notice how easy it could be. Like you could just flip the whole thing and be like, gosh, no one answers their phone. None of these expireds are answering today. Everyone's rude today. No one wants to talk. Everyone's probably worried about holidays, right?
I've had it with these people, I'm out of here.
Yeah. I love that. Who's on Zoom that wants to share something? What do you guys, what's going through your head?
twitching.
Someone pretend like you're on Zoom in here.
If you didn't hear that on Zoom, you have like 20 people in here filling the silence. You're making them super uncomfortable. Does anyone have anything on Zoom about one more? You got a story, you got a time, you got a thought?
Is Zoom in the room with us?
Yeah, maybe we got disconnected from Zoom. If you're on Zoom, just unmute and say something.
Yeah, with us.
Maybe they're not on.
This is Tracy. I don't know if it's necessarily, I mean, it kind of is one more call, but it was to someone in my database, and this actually has happened to me twice. There was a gentleman I had been talking to for 6 years, and just every time we talked, it just one thing after another, after another, after another, and I was almost just getting ready to throw in the towel, and I was like, I was gonna call him one more time. Well, he ended up buying a house that one more time. And then same thing with that ranch, deal, Chase, that I kind of inadvertently have going a little bit. I was kind of getting ready to throw in the towel on that too. And, thought I was just gonna do one more email, and then it transpired into something, and so, yeah, I guess those are kind of my 2 examples.
By the ranch, are you talking about the $200,000 referral commission?
Yeah.
That you're looking at? Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
I remember that one. Well, real quick, I think that's exactly what we're talking about, guys. It's like, it's exactly there. And by the way, you know, if you just heard Tracy, I don't know if you're just finding the mute button or if you didn't know if that would be good to share. That was really good to share. That's exactly what we're talking about. You know, when you go work out, they'll teach you like the initial, you know, exercise is not what builds muscle. It's when you're, this is why so many people work out to failure, because it's the last like 1 or 2 reps that actually did something. Everything else was just a maintenance thing. It's just crazy to think about. And so think about your business that way. You know, the 10 1-minute or more phone calls you make, that's maintenance. It's that extra one when you want to go home, right? When it's getting dark out early and you're like, fudge, I'd much rather be home right now. Those are the calls that will separate, you know, average from great. It's true. Go ahead, T.
And I don't know if this is just me, but like it's always, I don't know, now I have like kind of a set time where I have to go home, I have to go get my daughter at 4:30. Like 4:15 rolls around and almost as soon as that thought comes into my head that Penny was talking about, it's like that last one that I'm squeaking in at the very end ends up in an appointment. Like every time. And I don't know if it's my brain all of a sudden kicking it into high gear, like, oh shoot, I've got a deadline, like maybe the procrastinator in me. But like it's that very last one that squeaks into the finish line, and then you leave like on cloud nine because you did what you needed to do for 8 hours.
Well, and who can relate with, I've got things I have to do, like deadlines, people to take care of, human beings requiring me. Anyone relate with that? Yes?
Yes.
Okay. Just here's a hack. It's going to sound super obvious, I hope. And yet, like we don't necessarily prioritize our day this way. But there are things in real estate that you can do whenever you want. Like you can do them, you know, sitting on your beanbag in your pajamas eating Cheetos, right? Or drinking wine or whatever the hell you're doing. There's lots of things you can do when you're in that scenario. There's tons of things. But there's only certain times you can call prospects, right? So like running a CMA for someone at 10 a.m. Like, don't do that, right? Give your, like, first of all, if you told someone you would do it, but secondly, stop telling people you'll do it. Give yourself time, like, hey, can I get to that tea in a few days? Great, and then do it tonight at 9 o'clock with a glass of wine, or whatever. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Same thing when you're driving. Like there's people in your phone, you can call them because they're close with you and you don't have to look them up and follow the boss. You don't have to track the conversation, but it's a connection call. Those are the calls I make when I drive. The majority of the time when I was actively selling real estate, the majority of the time I was in my car. So I'm literally just calling my top people all the time, because they're in the car and I don't need to look at notes or whatever. I just know like, oh yeah, it's Kelsey. What's up, Kelsey? How's it going? How you doing? Oh my gosh, tell me about that. We need to grab coffee. Like, let's get on the counter. Like that's, you can do those calls whenever you want. I don't have to do those when I'm sitting in front of my computer at the office. That's when I should make the calls with the people that I need to look at the notes. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Well, and going into a drive like that, thinking,
Mike.
sorry, going into a drive like that, thinking like, okay, how do I squeeze in one more call? That's what you're doing, and that, changes everything about your business. It's like, one more, and you just keep adding that into your brain, calling them in the car, calling them on my way in, calling them as I'm heading home. Like, how do I do one more phone call? And maybe it's prepping and you do call someone at a follow-up boss as a follow-up or whatever, but like, just teeing yourself up for that success, like, instead of 10 1-minute like, how do I get 11? How do I get 12 now? It's like, it's just scratching, like you're clawing for something, there's a hunger there.
Well, Brent was talking about this earlier about taking off the rest of this year, right? Most agents, the majority of agents, it's pretty much the middle of November until the middle of January. They don't really work. I'd say that's probably like 80% of agents. Okay, then I would say 80% of the remaining 20%, middle of December till the middle of January, they're out. Okay, and then so now we're down to like a fraction of a fraction, right? These are the people that are setting themselves apart. Same thing with like, I would say, I don't know, 20% of agents actually come in and lead generate every day. Okay, so that's good. Most of you are in that group. Congrats, that's awesome. So how do you do one more than that group? You call some people while you're driving into the office. You call some people while you're driving home. That's additional contacts and conversations you wouldn't have had without it, right? Right? And then you're like, gosh, I don't know who to call today. So some of you show up at 9 when you intend to call, and then you spend 30 minutes figuring out who to call. What if you did that at night? Right? It's outside of hours to call. What you're doing is maximizing your opportunity to speak with people and essentially getting that one more opportunity. Okay, anything else going through your head around this? You don't have to do this. Like, you know that.
But you should.
You don't have to do this at all. This is just a really
Just what winners do.
Well, I'll tell you right now, you go look at the top people, Brent, the top people that are producing, like this is not a foreign concept to them. Right? This is something that like it's in all of them. And so you're like, well, did they get there because they did that, or are they on the top so they have to do that? What do you think, Brent?
Well, one thing I'm thinking about is, I was actually listening to Ed Milet on Saturday, I think, and he has one other principle that I think pairs really well with this, and it's the power of right now. Meaning, someone says, hey, need to call this person, okay, let's just do it right now. Hey, this task needs to get done, okay, let's just do it right now. Like, he's just like, action will trump anything else in a process. Meaning, people that say, well, I'm gonna make my call or call that person or hit that person up, they have it in their head, I'm gonna do it later. What he says, the challenge that he puts in is, have you ever said, you have a good idea? Has anybody ever had a good idea? I say, I'm gonna process this out or do it or whatever on Tuesday. And when you get to it on Tuesday, it's like, you're like, was that actually a good idea? Maybe it wasn't that good of an idea. Whatever it is, right? What he's saying is the frequency is higher in the moments where you're feeling the thing. And so when someone pops into your mind, he says, just call them. Because there's a frequency to that you can take advantage of versus putting it off.
Well, and we say this all the time, and I think it's on the flip too, right? Like when the buyer is excited about buying,
Yes.
they're excited about buying. And then like a day or 2 or 3 days later, when the lender calls them and they don't answer the call, they stop being excited about buying. Same with the seller, right? So they're hot when they're hot, and I am a firm believer in that. As someone who, that's mainly all I did, Brent, was help buyers for the first 5.5 years of my career. it is speed. They're excited, let's not slow down the excitement train, right? Francesca?
Kind of like what Teresa was saying though, it's almost like when you push yourself in that moment where you're totally not feeling it, because I very much know exactly what she's talking about, in the moments where I'm like, oh my gosh, I've been calling all day and I'm not getting anywhere, and if you can push and push yourself through that moment, truly is like the devil trying to stop you from calling, and all of a sudden it's like God blessing you for pushing through it, because something normally really good comes in that moment where you can just try to fight that negative feeling, like just whatever it is that's trying to stop you, it's like something is purposely trying to stop you because something's on the other side of that.
You know, we talked about this the other day on Daily Growth, so if you guys aren't up there, like shout out for Daily Growth, just show up, please. There's tons of really good information that's not just by Brent and I, it's being shared by everyone. But this came up the other day, Brent, and it reminds me of that. It's a little bit off topic, but it does remind me of that. Which is when you're hesitant to call your people, you know, most of the time we hide behind the theory that I don't want to bother them. Okay? Anyone ever felt that way?
Mm-hmm.
Raise your hand if you've ever felt that way. Okay, cool. So the theory of I don't want to bother them, if we really investigate who's that about, like why don't you want to bother them? Brent, why do you think people don't want to bother them?
Because I don't want to appear to be annoying.
So who is it about then? Is it about the person or is it about you?
It's about me.
Yeah, honestly, 9 times out of 10, it's you selfishly wanting to look a certain way. And if you can be honest with yourself and understand that, then you can push past these stupid thoughts you have. Like, look, I'm here. I'm not gonna let me looking good get in the way of them getting help. And I have all these little mental tricks that I have to help me just make more and more and more phone calls. And I always powered them, Brent, because I knew there were some agents that I just couldn't stand in this freaking business. And I'm like, how are they in this business? How? And I'm like, oh, because I didn't call the client for them. That's how. Which means I can't be selfish. I need to make more phone calls so they don't get stuck with that agent. Ty?
I was gonna say, when you make this a habit, this
Hold on,
becomes,
wrong screen.
oh, sorry. When you make this a habit on the days that you don't want to, it feels really awkward. And I just reflect back again to my athlete, that 30 minutes just became a habit for her. So the days that she didn't want to, and it was a bad practice and all that, it felt like she had to stay in her mind
Yeah.
because it was such a habit for her. So just make it a habit.
Yeah, Diana would say first you make the choice and then the choice makes you. So if the choice says, hey, whatever I feel like I'm gonna do, I'm always gonna do one more than that. Like, that choice will define who you are. That choice will
1%
make
better
you.
every day.
What's that all about, Brent?
That's called excellence. It's one of our values.
Yeah,
Yeah,
1%
you
better every day. All right, anyone have
I
anything else?
have one final thought, and I think it's really important, especially in this group, to say it. But when you're at the Christmas party and you're looking at the cooler of White Claws, the principle of one more does not apply.
I can tell what Brent's about to say because he's using
I
a
kid.
slight smirk before he said it like a tiny bit. I'm like, all right,
Sorry.
all right. Let's
I have
let's get some gratitude. Okay, since you're brand new, you are going to give us some gratitude here. I want one person. Can I get a volunteer on Zoom, please? And then let's do Tanya. So those will be our 3 today.
Sweet. Who or what are you grateful for?
I'm grateful for.
Like interview.
Do you want me to my
Who are
boyfriend's
you? Does
mom.
everyone know who you
Oh,
are?
sorry, I'm McKenna.
Do you have a last name?
Gabriel. I do marketing. I'm grateful for my boyfriend's mom, not him, his mom, because we were watching his hockey game and she brought tons of candy and treats, and I really appreciated it because it was 8:15 last night and I was tired and cold and hungry, and it just made my day. And she brought
Like
us,
ice hockey?
Yeah.
Where's he play at?
He's in a men's league at Ice World.
Ice World. Okay,
Yeah, some
cool.
of the games are at like 10 p.m. on a Sunday, and it's
Question, do they fight?
no. Well, he does. You're not supposed to. You get kicked out of the league, but he gets pretty aggressive on the ice.
All right. Does he have all his teeth still?
Yeah, thank God.
Okay, good. You make him wear a mouth guard, I'm assuming?
No.
Oh, no.
I won't do it.
All right, who's my volunteer on Zoom? Let's silently, awkwardly wait.
I am grateful for my dentist getting me in 5 minutes to get my stupid tooth looked at.
I hope it's going better. Thank you for sharing, Brittany. I love your, you were mentioning Teresa's social media, but I love, or you were mentioning Teresa's social media. I love that. It's good to see you back, by the way. How about you, Tanya?
I am grateful for this 3-month-old grandbaby I have. My daughter's boyfriend went out of town this weekend, so I got to be the other half for once. So it was super fun. I got to see him quite a bit, and he's starting to giggle, and he knows who I am, and so it's fun to see him kind of light up.
Is this the same daughter you do the side-by-side, or is that a different daughter?
Side by side.
You do like the TikToks or whatever together?
Well, both of those little monsters make me do them. But
Oh, they both do, okay.
they
Have you guys
are
seen her
ones.
social media yet?
No.
It's super funny. You should go watch it. Is it on Facebook only, or where do you post it?
I'm struggling in that department, but probably so.
Some of them. I've seen it on Facebook.
It goes somewhere.
Well, I don't know how to connect the two, so I'm working on that. I don't know.
Maybe the person that does marketing can help you.
Maybe we should meet, yes.
Okay, guys, thank you so much for everything. Since we won't talk to you